Welcome to Vedic Astronomy Initiation and Exposure classes. Today we are reaching a stage when, in the light of our initiation exposure of the values, features and format of Shlokas 1 to 44 of Lagd Yajurved Jyotish Vedanga, we will be attempting to reach at Vedic Sanvatsar Panji. It is a Vedic simultaneous calendar of solar and lunar existence phenomenon happening simultaneously. We on Earth are reaching at the lunar calendar and the solar calendar. It is the motion of the Earth around its own axis as well as around the Sun, and Moon is having motion around the Earth. We are here interested in the lunar calendar and also of the solar calendar. Means Earth is moving around its own axis and is also simultaneously moving around the Sun, while Moon is moving around the Earth. Therefore, the motion of the Earth is having simultaneous timelines of Moon and of the Sun. It is timeline in respect of the Moon and simultaneously in respect of the Sun, which is the subject matter of a chase. It is this chase which is to be have a sequential steps 1830. These 130 steps are to be tabulated. These are being tabulated as 124 tables. These 124 tables are being worked out, being reached at. So we have to reach at these 124 tables. Here are given table 1 and table 2, and then table 123 and 124. Rest tables we know are there in the book. Here it is just to indicate that as Vedic Sanvatsar Panji, we have to reach at these 124 tables. If we have a look at the first table, it is giving us 15 rows. These are of 15 steps. And then if we go by 15 multiplied by 124, it will give us 1860. However, our steps being worked out, being chased, being mathematized, being calculated are only 1830. If we go with tables of 15 each, then there is going to be 30 access steps. Means 30 access days will be sequentially in the arrangement. Means it is one extra month. When we are having 12 months a year and we are having 5 months of yuga, 5 years duration, it will lead us to 60 months period. 60 multiplied by 30 gives us 1800. But we are having a chase of 1830. That means this is less, 30 steps or less. Therefore, this range, which initially of 12 months or 30 days each of 5 years gives 60 months, but the calendar is Yuga is taken to be of 60 months duration, and this table, if it is of 15 each 124, it will take us to value 62. It is this adjustment, how from 60 months calendar to have a reach at 61 months calendar, and how this 61 months calendar will adjust another 1 month, and this range of 1 to 62 months is being worked out as 1 to 60 months, 61 months, and the normal calendar is going to be of 1 to 60 months. Therefore, these are the features reaching from 60 to 61 and also reaching from 62 to 61, which are the features will come into play, which will be adjusted, changed, mathematized, and are to be worked out. It is this exercise upon which we are entering from today. The success of understanding of the Lagna Jyotish Vedanga is as per the index of the success of a reach at Vedic Sanvatsar Panji of 1 to 1830 steps as 124 tables. It is this feature, it is this broad feature within which we have to work out. Before that, let us have a pause here and take note that the Lagna Jyotish Vedanga, Yajur Jyotish Vedanga is of 44 shlokas range. 44th shloka is preserving as that the chase has been of 3 steps: Som, Surya and Satri. Som means a Chandra, means the moon calendar, then the sun calendar, and these are the nakshatras, the nakshatra calendars. These 3 flow streams, so it has been a parallel chase of a solar and lunar calendars, and simultaneously there has been a chase of the space, Akash Tattva, within a 3-dimensional frame of solar dimensions as a synthetic setup of pair of such. Therefore, it is 27 and 27 is equal to a moon nakshatras and the sun nakshatras are being a synthetic setup. Therefore, the parallel chase of a solar and lunar calendars is simultaneously having a simultaneous chase of a space within a 3-dimensional frame of solar dimensions as a synthetic setup of a pair of such dimensional frames of half solar dimensions. Let us open a new page and let us mention these 3 formulations: Som, Surya and Satri. Som is taking us to TC value 20, Surya takes us to TC value 13, and Satri takes us to TC value 11. It leads to summation value 44. It is the blissful reach. One can have a pause and permit the transcending mind to be face to face with this achievement, that the Lagna Jyotish Vedanga, Yajur Lagna Jyotish Vedanga is of 44 shlokas range, and the end reach is a parallel flow of the Som, of Surya and of nakshatras, and these are of values 20, 30 and 11, making a summation value 44. It is this feature which will help us appreciate the delicate mathematical steps beneath the format. This is this format which is being worked out, and by availing the values features of this underlying format, which is to help us to reach at this Vedic Sanvatsar Panji. This mathematics, these values are the mathematics of the Ganita Upsutras. First 5 Ganita Upsutras all have a prominent role to play. First Upsutra is Anurupe, which means follow the form as it is framed. It is proportionately, it is a symmetry. This is the rule of a symmetry, and this rule is parallel to the pure value rule of Ganita Sutra 1, which means Eka Adhikain Purven, one more than before. It is this sequential rule, Eka Adhikain Purven. It is this rule which is symmetrically applied. Then it is this proportionate similarity. It is this way that when we are having a parallel sequential flow of different proportionate values, then how those can be simultaneously chased, as is the need here in respect of the parallel chase of the solar and lunar calendars. Therefore, Ekadhiken Purven gives a mathematics of the sequential steps one by one. But here, by Anurupen, by proportionate symmetry, we can have simultaneous handling a different sequential flow, may it be sun, may it be moon, and further also may it be of the nakshatras. Therefore, all these different streams, different flow streams, different sequential flow steps can be simultaneously chased. Therefore, the Ganita Upsutra 1 is the principal sutra in terms of which there is going to be chase of a parallel for solar, lunar as well as for the nakshatras. This rule, this symmetry, this proportionality rule is as such can be taken as an extension of the principle of Ganita Sutra 1. So Ganita Sutra 1 together with the Ganita Upsutra 1 makes a mathematics of having simultaneous handling of different sequential progressions. There can be different sequential progressions with different progression at each steps, and all of them can be simultaneously chased. It is this mathematics, it is this format of simultaneous chase of different progressions, sequential progressions of different proportionalities. The Ganita Sutra 2 is Shishyate Se Sangya, means that remains after division is the remainder. Now it is asymmetry. So if we are having say a unit 1, say of value n, and then we can have another say of value m, then when we write say n is equal to k into l plus r, therefore it is when it is written like this that say we are having, and then we say m is equal to say k into s plus t. This way, when we have two different units, and then when we have a multipliers, and then we will have reach at the remainders. Now it is the different sequential progressions as with the different units when are to be handled simultaneously, and those are to be handled in terms of the remainders. Therefore, Ganita Upsutra 1 together with Ganita Upsutra 2 provides us a mathematics how to have a chase of a sequential progressions of different progression rules. Now Ganita Upsutra 2 is to be read along with Ganita Sutra 2, Nikhlim Navasta Charmam. It is all from 9 and last from 10. It is, say, a 10 place value system. So 10 place value system is being the format and rule of Ganita Sutra 2, and then the Ganita Sutra 2 takes us to the remainders. Therefore, on 10 place value system, we will be having 1 to 9 as the numerals, and these will be basically the remainders. Therefore, the 10 place value system with 9 numerals range as remainders, and the symmetry rule will further help us to reach from 10 place value system to all other place value systems, particularly 6 place value system. Therefore, from Ganita Sutra 1, we shall reach at Ganita Sutra 1, and then from Ganita Sutra 2, we reach at Ganita Sutra 2. It is this chase of this pair of mathematical formats to this mathematical formats will go on sequentially enriching the mathematical format needed to work out this simultaneous, this parallel flow of the solar and lunar calendars and further as well. The Ganita Sutra 3 provides us a format that if we are having, say, one sequential progression, say, of this rule and a unit, and the second is, say, of this reach, then to have a comparative way, we have to have coordination of beginning with the beginning and end with the end. So the first, this point A will be associated with, say, the first point, the starting point, and here B will be associated with B dash. Now there will be infinite points here, and simultaneously there are going to be infinite points here as well. Now these infinities are, being the infinities, accept a parallel format, but when we are chasing it as a finite units, then the middle of this and the middle of this is associated, and it is with this way association when we draw a parallel here and the parallel we work out here, then it provides us a format to work out the different, therefore, say a lunar calendar and say a solar calendar. Now we know this motion of the earth around the sun and motion of the moon around the earth are going to be of different cyclic periods, and when we want to have a comparison for it, then we have to ultimately come to the shelter of Ganita Sutra 3, which will help us to have a format of having two distinct different progression lines, and then for comparison we have to apply this particular rule. It is this feature which deserves to be appreciated in the light of Ganita Sutra 3, which means Udharva Tiryak Bhyam. Therefore, we have to move upwards but along a diagonal. Therefore, the vertically this progression is to be of reach along a diagonal. Therefore, it is, instead of reaching here on the vertical plane at this point, we'll be reaching at this particular point. It is this format which will help us. Therefore, Ganita Sutra 1 together with Ganita Sutra 1 and then Ganita Sutra 2 together with Ganita Sutra 2, then Ganita Sutra 3 together with Ganita Sutra 3. It is this way that the mathematical values are available. It is this mathematics, it are these mathematical values which are available, and it is in terms of it that we have to reach at the Vedic Sanvatsar Panji. Vedic Sanvatsar Panji at a further step will help us in Ganita Sutra 4 that these folds can be only up till 7. We know that 3 space 3 means a cube is having a 7 geometries range. There are 7 geometries of 3 space, and there are 7 geometries range of 3 space, and there are 7 versions of hypercube 3. It is this limitation, or it is this reach, or it is this value, and it is this format which will be very helpful to us to have a chase of the Earth as a solid domain. Earth as a solid domain is having a first motion around its own axis, and then it is having around the Sun as well. Therefore, it is this solid domain which, as a solid domain, will help us to have a 7 geometries range, and further it will help us have 7 versions. So it is this mathematics which will be helping us to have an extension of the values of the mathematical reach of Ganita Sutra 3 and Ganita Sutra 3 to Ganita Sutra 4, means a pravarte yojet, which means transposition. It is here the reflection image which will come into way. So Ganita Sutra 4 and Ganita Up Sutra 4 together, Kevale Saptakam Gunyat, this will help us have an extension of the mathematical domain needed to work out. And step ahead is the wisdom, it is osculations. So linear extension is ultimately resulting into a circular transition. It is this reach from linear to the spatial order. And the Ganita Sutra 5 is giving us Shunyam. It is this Shunyam. Samme means parallel. It is Samuchay, means having equal upward rise. These are the features. Therefore, sadhakas fulfilled with the intensity of urge to have a proper insight of the mathematics at work for the Vedic Sanvatsar Panji shall sequentially reach from Ganita Sutra 1 to Ganita Sutra 5, and simultaneously to have reached from Ganita Up Sutra 1 to Ganita Up Sutra 5. It is this way that these formulations, these 5 pairs, these 10 valuations, these 5 pair of values are going to be the basic foundational mathematical formats and values and the working steps in terms of which we can reach at the Vedic Sanvatsar Panji. Now further, let us open a new page, or let us make a new entry, as that we know that we have in this Panji we have to reach at 1008 and 30 this number of steps. These number of steps we know are equal to 366 multiplied by 5, and this is a yuga period, means 5 years period. So each year here is being taken of 366 days. These are the solar days. Therefore, this is a Surya, it is a sun calendar. So sun calendar is a calendar which accepts 360 days a year. Now the normal year is called a Saman. Now Saman Varsh, it is of 360 days. Therefore, from the normal 360 days year at sun, Saur, so the Saur Surya is of 360 days, while the Saman Varsh is of 360 days. Now we see that we are at a sun, Surya, 6 space in a static state, and it is enveloped by a transcendental boundary, Akash Tattva. It is this Akash Tattva, and we know it is A raised to power 6 is to 12 B raised to power 5. Therefore, these 12 components will have a fixation in 5 into 12 is equal to 60. And we know this is equal to the value of the 60 months. As such, this geometric format of 60 months is the format which is a format of 30 days. As we know, 5 into 6 is 30. Now, each of the transcendental component has a fixation here as in terms of a 30 coordinates. So it is this 30 coordinates fixation, and there are 12 such components. It makes us value 360, and it becomes a value of 360 days year. It is this 360 days year which is called a Saman Varsh. So it is a normal. Therefore, for this, firstly we will have a normal year. This normal year is of 360 days. Then we have a solar year which is of a 366 days. Now we know that there are going to be a dynamic state. So when there will be a dynamic state, it will take us to 6. This value will move in a dynamic state, it will add value 6 more. Therefore, the solar calendar, which is of 366 days, will have an addition of 6 further days. It is this addition which will be having addition of 30 days for the yugas, and it will take us to value 1860. As such, we are reaching at this Panji as of, say, initial of 860 steps, and this 860 steps is leading us to 62 months. Now, it is this feature that when we are having 60, and so for 1800 we are having at value of 60 months. Then 1830 we are reaching at 61. Now, if we accept that 1860, it will take us to 62. Therefore, when we will be having extension of a format of 62, and if we work with the half months, so half months will reach at 124. Therefore, the Vedic Panji is being organized as of 124 steps. These 124 steps are equal to the 62 months or 124 half months. Out of this, we know that the dynamic state is to be brought back to a static state. Therefore, actually, this 124 steps value is to be reduced back to 122. It is this adjustment, it is this proportionate adjustment which is the basic challenge or the basic exercise of the Vedic Sanvatsar Panji. Vedic Sanvatsar Panji is be taken as a 124 steps. However, it is to be taken of, say, 100 and 122 steps. It is this reach which is going to be of a adjustments. How it is adjusted or how it is worked out, then it is being worked out as of a proportionate symmetry rule. So Ganita Sutra 1, a proportionate symmetry rule, and the remainders rule, or beginning with the beginning point with the first and the last with the last. These are the features of Ganita Upsutras, Ganita Upsutras 1, 2, 3, and then 4th and 5th as well come into play when we will be having initial inherent chase of step by step chase. Therefore, For us, the real exercise is that we shall take up table 1 and then reach at how the steps first 1 to 15 steps as such will be helping us reach at all these values of this particular table. The values of this table are being worked out, are being changed by having a division for the day itself as day and a night. Therefore, the working is going to be divide a year into a pair of half years, means have 2 ions. So these are going to be half years. Then this 1 year division into half years further is to have a division into a, say, seasons. So there are going to be 6 seasons. Now each season as such is going to be of a pair of months. So we are having a day as a day and a night, and we are having a month as a first half and the second half of a month. We are having year as a first ion and a second ion. It is like this we see that the basic year, then the half year, then the season, then the month and the day. These all are being chased along a diamond format by dividing into 2 parts, and further the day itself is being taken as day and a night, and it is being taken of 15 and 15 Mahurats. Now this unit 15 is 1 into 3 into 5, which is equal to the dimensional frame of Akash Tattva or a 5 space. Now it is this split, it is this chase which will ultimately take us to a 3-dimensional frame. That means it will take us to value of a cube, a representative regular body of a 3 space. Therefore, before we take up the exercise of to work out the Vedic Sarvastra Panji of its 124 tables, let us have a fresh look at the setup of a cube. Now cube is giving us a linear dimension and dimensional frame is of 3 dimensions. Then it is giving us 6 surface plates. It is giving us 8 subcubes. It is leading us to 8 corner points, with each corner point being embedded with a dimensional frame of 3-dimensional frame of half dimensions. And at the origin is a seat of a creator's space, a 4 space. Now the total structural components are coming to be 31. At this seat, at the center is the creator space, means a seat of a hypercube 4. It is this hypercube 4 which is a raised to power 4 raised to 8 b raised to power 3, and in that way it takes us to value 32. Then the 3-dimensional frame when splits, then it leads us to a pair of 3-dimensional frames of half dimensions which accepts a coordination as a value 33. Like this, we know that the cube, as it is having a quadruple internal diagonals, and these diagonals are the translation points, translation paths of the 3-dimensional frames of half dimensions embedded in the corner points, and these will as such lead to quadruple 3-dimensional frames synthesis together with the 5th dimensional frame inherently available here will make a setup of 5 3-dimensional frames of solid dimensions. So how the internal structure of a cube, how the external structure of a cube as such is a setup which also is going to provide us the basic values, features and formats of a motion of a earth around its own axis as well as around the sun. These all features are simultaneously available, and these are the features which are manifesting the Vedic Sanvatsar Panji. Therefore, from tomorrow we shall be taking up table wise these 124 tables when will be changed, when we will be reaching at table 1 to table 124. That means we will be having an exhaustive, extensive, full, complete chase of step 1 of day 1 of Tithi 1 to step 1830th. Once we will work it out, then it will be giving us a complete calendar of the sun and moon, and it will also give us a complete sequential mathematical chase of the geometric exhaustive coverage of the space within a three-dimensional frame of solid dimensions. So this solid dimensional order setup of the space is being worked out. Once we will be in a position to work out the space within a three-dimensional frame itself in the role of a dimension, the Akash as a Panch Tattva, a fifth element. Once we are approaching the space as a solid dimensional space, a solid dimensional order space in the role of a transcendental boundary of our solar universe. This chase of sun enveloped within a space of a solid dimensional order. It is this reach of the solid dimensional frame, solid dimensional order space enveloping the sun. It is this achievement which is being the fruit of the knowledge of the Lagd Jyotish Vedanga. Along this foundation will be reached at the second phase of the ultimate mathematical format, values and features of the Vedic astronomy. So it will be an exercise that we shall reach at the Vedic Sanvatsar Panji, beginning with the first day and having a coverage in 124 steps. So 124 tables are going to be reached at. It is with this reach that we will say that we are face to face with the values, features and format of the Lagd Jyotish Vedanga format. Thank you very much.